Welcome to the Poetry of Justice show with JackieRay Phillips on YikesRadio.com and AccelerateRadio.net. Guys, here on the Poetry of Justice show, this is where social consciousness meets the arts. And what we do is we select topics that spark the interest and awareness of social diversity, ranging from arts, entertainment, and social justice at large, leaving our listeners thinking and saying,
YikesRadio.com.
Now, everybody, you know I love the sound. That's my mentor, the Mr. Kevin Nash. Mr. Kevin Nash is the owner of this proprietorship here at Accelerated Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, and if it were not for Kevin Nash and his dreams, it would be impossible to do what I so love to do here on Accelerated Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, and so what I also like to do at this time, I like to give a very special shout out to Gingy Productions and Entertainment Company, everybody. And that is Miss Lori G, the benefactor. How are you tonight, Lori G?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good, sissy. Good to see you tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, while I have your attention, I'm going to go ahead and give a special shout out to some more of our sponsorships. And that is going to be going straight out to G Babies Caterings, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to give a very special shout out to G Babies Catering. You want to get in touch with Chef Mac, ladies and gentlemen. He is hot on Instagram. Again, G Babies Catering. I want you to take a look at that. And then while we're going down this trajectory for sponsorships, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to give a very special thanks to APS Muscle Cars, everybody. I want you to check this guy out. He's building hot rods. He is building low riders. He's got pretty much anything you want to have built, restored. This is the guy you want to talk to, ladies and gentlemen. And again, that's Mimo with APS Muscle Cars. There is also a brand new storage facility that he has going on, ladies and gentlemen. That's in Signal Hill, California. So you want to check this guy out if you want to get anything you want done. I also want to give another very special shout out to WMPJ Steelworks, everybody. A very proud sponsor for us here in the Poetry of Justice show with JackieRay Phillips. And so everybody, we're going to be ready tonight. Oh, my goodness gracious. Let's do it, Rashid. You ready?
There you
Hi,
go.
everybody. I got Shelly C. We've got Lori G. We've got Chris Fisher. We've got Troy. We've got Dante. We've got the lovely Queen Sia. We've got the gorgeous, talented, and beautiful Miss Shelly C. of the chat. Also sponsor of the Poetry of Justice show, JackieRay Phillips. And a very special shout out to our man, our baby, our love of the show, Big Tap Promotions. How you doing in the house tonight, Big Tap?
Everything is great. Good to see y'all. I missed y'all big time. And it's good to be back.
It was crazy, yeah. I'm going to still do a little bit of housekeeping, guys. So I didn't have my road dog with me today, but Rashid came on through right on time. But Rashid didn't understand it. Basically, I had a wardrobe malfunction, you guys. And
Oh my goodness.
That's what me and Rashid went off the grid for a little while. You know what I mean? And Lori, I hear Lori like, I don't know. Are we starting on time? I don't know what's going on tonight. Like, yeah, we gonna start. We having a wardrobe issue. So anyway, we was doing that, working out with my earring. We getting Facebook going on. And don't worry about it, Rashid. I got it. I'm gonna turn it around. But this is what we're gonna do. Go ahead, Gerald. I'm gonna give it to you for a minute.
So Lori's not in the studio?
No, I'm not in the studio.
Oh. You're at home?
I'm at home. Yes.
Yeah, Lori decided she's going to be at the home stew tonight. So, you know, that drive every now and again can get to be too much, guys. I'm going to have you guys, Lori, you go take over the show for me. I'm having some technical difficulties right now.
Uh-oh, we got some technical difficulties.
But it's all good in the hood. Rashid started that other way, so we just going to have
I just want to say Happy New Year to everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. We've got some guests in our Zoom room. We've got Jeanette and Marguerite and Stevie, who's always rolling with us. So at any time, if you guys want to flip over here and be a panelist, just put in the chat, bring me over, and you can join our panel. So I just want to start off by saying, how were your holidays? What did people do? Were you good? Did you get rest?
What did we do?
Yeah.
A lot of rest.
A lot of rest, Queen Sia. That's good.
Thank you, Queen Sia, for coming and joining the show again with us tonight. We really appreciate you. We was
Thank
having a
you.
little bit of technical difficulties, guys. This is our first night, and me doing it solo without the crew, So we got a little razzle dazzle, but we here, and that's everything that matters. That is 2021. Everybody, can you believe that?
Wow, 2021.
2021 snuck up on us so very
Only
fast.
9 days in.
That part right there. But look, Rashid, it's 9 days in the game, but there's so much information to talk about tonight. First of all, I just want to thank our fans and thank our listeners for being with us and for just always just being down for us. Particularly, I want to say shout out to Troy, shout out to Queen Sia, shout out to cousin Deontay, shout out to Chris Fisher. Chris Fisher, you've been rolling with us for actually 5 years now, almost two, consistently and consecutively. So I always give homage to you. But these individuals right here tonight, Queen Sia, there's so many other things you could be doing right now, my sister Queen, but you decided that you was going to spend this Saturday evening with the Poetry of Justice show through Big Tap. We appreciate that. My sister and I can't tell you, we tell everybody, there's certain things in life you can get back. We can get money back. You might mess up and do something wrong. You can get friends back. But you can't get our time back, guys. And it's so very
Mhm.
valuable, and our time is so very precious. And so I
I'm
think,
happy to be here. No problem. I'm happy to be here.
and Troy, brother Troy, how are you tonight? I just want to give you a very special thanks and tell you Happy New Year and thank you for coming and being back with us. How are
I'm
you doing
glad to be
tonight?
back. I'm glad to be back, and I'm doing just fine. I made it through. I made it to 2021, so I can't complain because a lot of people we know we left behind and are not with us. So I'm glad to be here and
Good.
healthy.
I know. And I was just wondering about you, cousin Deontay. How you doing tonight? You having a good one?
Doing good, like Brother Troy said. I'm just glad to be here.
No, we looking good. I want to tell you that. Shelly C, how are you doing, pretty queen? You doing
I-
good, beautiful?
I'm doing good. All is good in the neighborhood.
The thing about it is people are ill, are dying at massive numbers
Yes.
that we can't even compute. There's been just so much going on in this world. And look at us. We are blessed to be here tonight. We have our life, our health, our strength. We have our faculties. We have each other, which means we have love. And that's something that can never be taken away from us. And so I just want us to go into 2021 strong in our minds, strong in our hearts, strong in our spirits, because we have work to do. This is not a coincidence. None of this is by chance. We are all right here at this time, at this moment, for a reason, because we could turn on CNN right now and see some images on our eyes that we probably thought we would never see, that we probably thought were buried with Alex Haley's legacy and roots, things that we thought we only saw in movies and films. But to know that this is just right outside our very doors, ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, as we stand tonight. So we just going to have a good time. It's just talking about what's going on. We don't have a particular topic. Lori and I and Shelly C and Chris, you kind of come in on this end and Big Tap too. Lori and I have spent countless hours and days and tears and fears on what type of subjects we're going to bring and what are we going to talk about and will our guests be happy. And Shelly, you know all the anxiety attacks I've had driving over here to Inglewood trying to figure it all out. What we going to do,
Right.
Lori G? What are we going to do? And this year I said, you know what? I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to fret. I'm going to trust in the higher power, in the higher source, in the spirit of the living God. And we just going to come in here and do what we do, which is be a voice to each other and a voice to our people, because we have a following, we have a calling, and there is a nation that needs of people that need to hear what we will share out of our hearts and experiences tonight. So that's just pretty much setting the platform. I know my previous shows have been fanfare and excitement and parties, and throwing it up. You know, Lori G, Shelly C, how we used Chris. You know how we would do it in studio. But I think 2021, we're just going to come with precision, like a stealth. and we're going to know what we have in our hearts and our spirits, and we'll bring that to our people, listen to our people. What do they want us to bring them? And just make sure that we facilitate that the best we can. So I know I've spoken for a long time, so I'm going to go with the heavy stuff first, and then we're going to end on a light, fun note, yet still serious. So I want to start with, because we got people representing from all the world. So let's just go around the screen and the panel tonight. Gerald, you remember what I told you tonight, Big Town? What I wanted to see tonight was my dream. You remember what I told you?
Yeah, well,
Do you recall what I told you my dream was for tonight? What I wanted to see on the screen? You don't remember, huh?
nah, what was it?
I said I wanted to see multiple boxes on our Zoom screen,
Oh,
and we
yes, you
gonna be
did.
big, bigger than the Brady Bunch. We gonna have more boxes than the Brady Bunch, right? That's what I told you. Look at us, look at us. So God,
And it's what we're missing one box. My man, the light-skinned brother, your cousin.
Rashid, Steven's coming. He may come through. He look, little cousin out there grinding, making his money. So he gonna make it through. He gonna make it through. He might make it through. So, but we gonna be all right. We got the queen. We got Queen Shelly. We got Queen Sia. Lori G hold it down to the ground, so she up in the cut like always. So it's gonna be great. It's what it's supposed to be, right? So that being stated, let's talk. Let's do it. What do you guys think about? I call it the mob. Rashid has something else that he calls it, but I call it the mob on the Capitol. Let's talk about that. Sia. Come on with it. Come on with it. I see it on your face, Queen Sia.
I call it the raid on Capitol Hill.
The raid on Capitol Hill, the mob on Capitol Hill. What are you guys calling it? What you call the Sia?
I call it the thugs on Capitol Hill.
Thugs. What about you, Troy?
Call it white on white crime.
That's what my daughter calls it. Queen Shelly C.
I call it the same thing, white on white crime. Like, they are a mob, goons climbing walls, and we supposed to be monkeys. I'm like, really?
Right. What about you, Deontay?
But one of them did bust the ass.
What? I know.
That was funny.
I saw
that. What about you, Deontay? What do you think about it when you saw all of that taking place?
Honestly, it was just a reality for everybody else. I think it's something that we've been seeing as a community, but they finally got it on camera for the world to see. So
right.
Heard up. Yep.
You gonna show some of those images for us tonight, Rashid?
There's a lot of stuff that we're seeing, a lot of images we're seeing these days, including the Karen that attacked the 14-year-old little boy.
Oh my gosh, Shelly C. But Lori G, thank you so much for everything that you do. What do you call it? Mob, attack, white on white crime? Do you have what do you call it?
I call it storming the castle. Storming the castle. That's what they did, right?
Oh, goodness. Yeah,
because and no disrespect, but them white people problems, right?
Yeah, they
really got much to do with us. They really got much to do with us.
Yeah, I
would sound like the character Day Day on Friday. He remember he told his white slave friend Roach, he go, "Don't white people problem, black people problem."
But do you know why? This is what I call it. I just call it brainwashed, and I'm gonna just tell you why they're brainwashed. Because when I seen about 4 or 5 grandmothers in there,
right?
You know it's something crazy now.
You say grandmothers?
Yeah,
it was grandmoms in there.
But Gerald, that because racism is taught. We're not born racist.
No.
Yep.
Racism is taught. So the grandmothers, of course, they're there, and the great grandmamas.
Mm-hmm.
All of them, they breed that hatred into individual. It becomes
they are the ones. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I saw some black folks in there too.
I did.
Them the ones that look, the black folk, they look black. That's all that is. They just look black. They ain't black. They just look black.
Right?
That's all.
They don't want to
had on the MAGA hat and everything. Exactly. They had on the MAGA hat, screaming with the crowd.
Yeah, they say, "We sick, boss. We sick."
Yeah,
they're going along with the thing. Whatever boss.
Yes, sir, boss. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Rashid has something, Lori G. Go ahead, Rashid.
All right, so here are some of the images from the raid on Capitol Hill.
Oh my gosh. Look at that guy.
This is one
Did you see
picture.
that? Images.
It's another picture.
Let me let Facebook see.
Look
Check
at
it out,
that. That's
Facebook.
crazy.
Isn't that crazy? But no arrests, no major arrests, no
Until
shooting,
later.
no pellet gun shootings like the Black Lives Matters protests, none of that. Just
because all the arrests didn't come until later.
today.
Later on, yep.
Yeah.
Because literally a guy was able to literally go into Nancy Pelosi's office.
Yeah, I think this guy
put his feet
on
furniture.
Ain't that something, y'all? Can you believe that?
Steal her mail.
Took her mail and her computer. You know her computer's gone too, guys. They took her computer as well. I don't know what kind of
setup.
Now, could you imagine just sitting?
I have a question, guys. What would this look like?
I don't know if you saw it, but
that's Black Lives Matter.
Man, you have bodies laying all over the place.
There'll be a lot more bodies.
Bloodbath.
Exactly.
It would be a
It
bloodbath.
looked like Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921.
You see, let me tell you what I really think about the difference and the difference of them arresting these people later. The problem is now that we can have everything on video and on tape.
Right.
Just imagine if we didn't have video or tape. All these, excuse me, I shouldn't say that.
I know.
All of these people would have never been arrested. And I know that this is wrong, and I might get some controversy, but I'm glad.
What's wrong?
I'm glad. I'm glad
it happened to be just like Donald Trump. I was sitting just as happy as he was.
Right.
Because the only thing that ever gets publicized and the only thing that what happened to the people in June, the Black Lives Matter protesters versus these people, it had to be on tape. You see what I'm saying? And now that it's on tape, they have to prosecute. See, if there was no tapes and there was nothing, they just, an angry mob came down to the people's house and they had an uproar. But this shit, you cannot avoid. You can't.
And this is, and the photo I'm showing right now is a picture of one of the ladies that was actually shot.
Is that the one that got shot? No.
Yes. The one that actually died. Her name is Ashley Babbitt. She's spent 4 years as a member of the Marines.
Okay.
And so I honestly feel no sympathy for her.
I
don't.
I don't either because they kept telling her to stop coming, and she kept coming.
He kept coming.
He's pointing the gun at you, and you still coming towards him, dumbass. Of course he's gonna shoot out.
Wait, hold on.
That's white privilege.
I see it as.
Right.
Wait a minute. I got my white privilege.
That part right
my
there.
My white privilege gonna protect me.
No, well it did. It got your ass dead. How about that?
Well, yeah. Got one dead. Got another one maced because I saw a video where girl was walking away talking about I wasn't expecting this.
Exactly.
I got maced and pepper spray.
But they said it was an onion.
She had an onion. Yes, Shelly.
Onion. There you go.
Yes.
Right.
It was staged. It was all staged. Can you believe it?
And some of them were retired firefighters from New York, from Florida. So these wasn't just the, what you call them, Proud Boys or the QAnon. It was, listen, the mutant gene is real.
These were true Trump supporters because they came from all over.
Came out.
Because
Chris, you stupid.
Because before Trump got his Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram deactivated, before that happened, he did call for a rally.
He did
up at Capitol Hill.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
He did. And he knew what he was doing. His attorney that they put in jail did not lie. The man speaks in codes. They know what the hell he's talking about when he say shit.
Right.
He means.
Right.
He speaks in codes. He speaks in a way that he cannot be incriminated, but letting them know what the hell he means.
I think it all backfired though. They didn't expect the people to die.
No.
That's what they didn't expect. They thought they were going to send a clear message, but when you act like animals, you don't know what could happen. You riled up, you poking bears and lions and tigers and all kinds of crazy white people. And you need to give them a little something and they take it a mile. And that's what happened. They didn't expect that people were gonna die. And if you notice that police officer, I kind of feel bad for him because he was getting crushed by the crowd.
He was.
There was a video of it that just showed it. It just came out.
Do you think the resistance was, it was intended resistance, or do you think the police officers were just scared because there was so many people? It seemed to me like that.
I think they were told they were.
They let them in.
They knew they were coming.
He let them
because
in
they didn't shoot nobody. They were told not to. They had to be told not to shoot nobody because when they breached the stairs, they are told to use deadly weapons if you go past the stairs. But they were all the way in the building and they still didn't use any deadly force.
Right. It was a
so they just kept on backing
they've
up.
never seen anything like that. They know what to do if they see minority people rioting, right? We know what the protocol is.
Right.
I'm with you, Lori.
They don't know what to do.
It's funny because
they don't even know what to do.
Right, because during the Black Lives Matter protests that was up in Capitol Hill months back, literally they had armed militia, tanks, and all that.
They was ready. They had everything.
They were ready for us.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, if that's the case, if that's the case, then I think that they were trying to send a subliminal message, like to let them know we can do whatever we want and we gonna get away with it.
But I think it backfired in some way. I think it backfired.
And it backfired. And it backfired.
I want to bring up one more point. In 2013, Miriam Carey, a black dentist, hygienist dentist, she was driving with her child, and she drove to the Capitol, and she got shot. She didn't get shot 26 times, but she got shot at 26 times. So that shows you how serious they are about their capital. So if they breached the stairs, there should have been some gunfire to say, "Yo, back up," and that would have just made people back up.
So they were commanded not to shoot. They were commanded.
Yeah, exactly. They had to be instructed. It was planned out.
Yeah, it was.
Right, but it's also. It's a bad look either way because you basically let them walk in. It is a bad look because now you have all the other countries looking at us like, really?
Like what? Exactly. They sending us like
it was that easy.
Letters, yeah.
Yep.
They're sending heartfelt like regrets to us, like stuff that we used to send out to other countries. Now they like sending it back to us like nanny, you are no longer the moral majority. Screw America.
They're actually laughing at us abroad because of how we handle our politics. So how are we going to look as a nation moving forward with the new administration? They look at us for everything when it comes to democracy. So if our democracy is all up and down the place where people can just storm to a federal building and try to take over, what does that say to us in the world? That's my whole thing.
But they
don't say nothing about us.
One person.
Not to mention the COVID numbers here. Not to even mention the COVID numbers.
It's not even about us. We ain't even got nothing to do with it.
Right.
It's about them. That's they mess. That's they family stuff. We just need to mind our own black business. We need to be
we're Americans,
like you said.
We're Americans. We pay taxes, and I'm talking as far as being an American in this country, how we are looked in the world. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
No, I understand that, but it's time for us, like you said, Jackie, stealth. It's time for us as black to be that stealth, to go and just move on and get our own stuff, get out as a collective.
We've been saying that, but when are we going to do that? We've been saying that, but when are we going to do that? We need to do that now.
We are doing that now. We are doing that now.
I have a question for Queen Sia and for Queen Chris Fisher. Should there be two separate Americas?
No.
Should there be two separate Americas?
No, I think there's always
still further divides us. We still need to be a united front where we can show in the world that we are United States. That's what the whole purpose is. But, it comes down to education. The Electoral College is an educational type of college that you can look up, research, find out what that's all about. The states selected who they want as president, and that's what it is. But when you go deeper, I think it has to do with the Black and brown vote. the fact that these states selected Joe Biden, that is why Trump and his supporters have an uproar, suppressing the Black vote. So it's all about educating our kids, educating people about how this voting process works, so it doesn't get to this type of ugly stage like what we saw on Wednesday.
No, listen.
That's about,
for me, the process of voting, our vote doesn't matter anyway. When you look back at the system of how it even is, the whole system is not even.
That's what they want you to think. That's what they want
it's not even for. It's not even for, because okay, so the vote now, what did we get for our vote?
I mean, that's what they want.
Somebody tell me,
think, Chris.
Okay, but what do we get for our vote right now?
We get
a new president.
We have a new president.
New president.
What is that new president gonna do for who? What is he gonna do?
Let's wait and see. We elected him.
I know that he will spread the level of hate and violence.
Right.
That Trump
I understand that too. I see that. I mean,
in my opinion,
I saw something today that both sides incite that stuff. They both incite that. I seen some videos today. I seen some videos today that both sides were inciting. Even Maxine Waters. I didn't even know this even happened, where she was out and they were talking about, yeah, if you see them at the gas station, y'all might have saw that. I didn't know nothing about that. And I'm thinking, like, what? Like, you know, and if that's the case, as far as him doing what he did, they all doing it, both sides. If I had the video for that, I would show that. But they all doing the same thing.
Doing what? I'm missing it. Doing what? What are they both? What's the same?
No. She's saying, because
they're all inciting.
She was retaliating off of something that Ted Cruz and them did, and off of something the Republicans did. And she said, if you see them, you respond by telling them to get. She was telling us to do some telling us to do some real hard stuff to them.
And I had never seen that. And I'm thinking, like, well, that's not no better than what they doing.
But
like,
they already doing.
Different?
But we all got sense, though. Most of us do. So yes. So
now it's cut clear and simple. We, as the minority, voted Kamala and Joe Biden in.
Correct.
There was no way he would have got in if it wasn't for the minority. So therefore, let's see. And they got the Senate, they got the House, they got the presidency.
Exactly.
They have to come through for us now. It's like we got to on them ridiculously now. It's like, okay, now it's you in, we got you here. What you gonna do? Now,
exactly.
Chris,
Exactly. We gave you the power. What are you gonna do? But there's one thing that I don't want anyone to miss. When Black Lives Matter was protesting, we were protesting for our lives. They're protesting and storming capitals and mobbing because they didn't like the outcome, that it didn't turn out the way they wanted it to. So basically, we said no. And anytime you tell them no, they have a fit.
Yeah, and something else too. Straight up, y'all. And I know all of this panel don't believe it anyway. All that they got robbed and it was the votes were stolen. That's ridiculous. It's
lies. It's lies.
Stop the steal.
They believe it, Rashi. They believe it, Tap.
They believe
that's the problem. In fact, Mama, they've been brainwashed to a point to believe that it is true but at the same time, how can you believe something without actually proving it?
Yeah, because people buy into propaganda, guys. It's propaganda. That's what they want.
Right.
People hold on to the narrative in which they want to be reinforced. Trump has a narrative that supports his own personal agenda. When he was elected president of the United States, he felt that was dictator of the free world.
Exactly.
That's what he felt.
Exactly.
And any policy, anything he ever did on this 4-year journey was self-serving. He didn't give a damn if you were white, purple, black, or blue, as long as he was supporting his namesake and putting his agenda forward. That's all that mattered. So I just
prove the golf swing.
And you know what?
Prove that golf swing.
I got one comment to make. I got to go back to that voting thing that I don't want you to get the listeners to get it confused. Voting does matter.
Yes, it does.
You got to make sure that you vote.
Yes, it does.
On those judges, you got to vote on the small things too. That's more important than sometimes the presidency. You got to vote on the judges.
The local elections
black judges
as well. The local elections.
You got to get those senates in there. That's the problem. People don't vote. They only vote during the presidency. You got to vote before that.
Right.
That's where the electoral votes come from. So that's where our mistakes are most of the time. We put too much energy at the last minute, and it's too late. You got to start early and get these people voting
I'm sorry,
early.
Mickey Mouse would have been better than that devil. I don't care what anybody say.
Absolutely.
Y'all can put down Joe Biden. You can say they all the same. I don't care what anybody is better than that devil. And now our lives are in his hands, and he's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, they're trying to get nuclear codes away from him right now.
Believe it or not,
yeah, they're trying to get nuclear codes away from him.
I know.
They're trying to get the nuclear codes away from this fool. Like, like
Queen
I tomorrow and we got a nuclear war. What the hell?
What the hell? I hope they change the codes.
I hope so too.
Change the code. They already banned him on all social media.
Yeah.
Well, do you think he has enough time to be impeached?
Yes. Do you think it's enough time, Sia?
No. Yes, there is enough time because they have to do the 25th Amendment. And that would have to be enacted by Mike Pence. Mike Pence would have to enact the 25th Amendment to actually impeach him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I think the reason they're doing it too is it's not enough time before January 20th, but it may take over afterwards. Yes, he should be stripped of the right to have the Secret Service guard him. He should be stripped of his pension. He should be stripped of all of that because believe me, all of us would be stripped of it if we did something against the law.
And then also the option to run.
He don't want to leave because he know he going to jail after that.
Right, that part.
True.
All of that. He's not going to get the privileges that he has. If they keep this impeachment up, he's not going to have privileges after he leaves the office. That's the point. I want to get driven. He doesn't deserve the retirement. He doesn't deserve
all that like Secret Service for life. Right. He just be a regular criminal. Hopefully he'll be in the feds by the time it's all said and done. Because the people I know that did some shit, they was still in the feds. Some of them.
Since day one, he brought the tension between us, the Republicans and the Democrats.
It was worse than the Crips and the Bloods.
We was fighting that whole time. We fell into the division. We fell into it. We was fighting. But when everything, you guys got to remember, and don't be nice and don't, be humble. But everything we was believing in about this guy that was negative, guys, it was true. We was right. They was wrong. They was wrong. We was right. So don't feel, I feel like, damn, don't throw it in their face. But listen, they still coming at us. And the reason why I say they still coming at us, they rushed that Capitol. They mad. They mad he lost.
Oh, but it's not over yet. It's not over yet. From what I've read in the reports, they're trying to come back on the 17th or the 20th.
On the 17th, Queen Sia, they say they're coming back on the 17th. Yeah. So the question will be, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do, Rashid?
I guess that's what they meant by Proud Boys stand by and stand ready.
Stand back and stand by.
I don't think nothing's gonna happen this time because I think they're gonna have that military ready because the Republicans are not all bad, even though we know that they're the evilest people in the world, but they're not all bad. They were embarrassed also, so they are gonna they're gonna be ready for them next time. So they're not gonna let the country because the democracy was at threat, so they don't want to lose that either. Even though Republicans are not always evil.
Troy,
they shut
Trump down, Troy.
Those that supported
Trump. Every little thing he said, they shut it all down because of the mere fact that it was cold, brother. When he said the Proud Boy thing, they knew it, like Shelley said, they knew what he was talking about.
That's like the Crip call.
They all know what he's talking about.
Right.
Yep.
They shut him down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
Everything. They know this dude was talking in codes. They know starting some chaos.
And when he said he was not going to be at Joe Biden's inauguration, don't think that was
a
not
reason.
A signal.
Yeah.
Don't think that was not a signal.
What you think about that, Rashid? I think some shit is about to go up, y'all.
Oh, definitely, because literally, that's the very fabric of our democracy. Is the exchange of power, and the former president is supposed to be there to actually give that exchange of power. That's how the tradition goes.
Right.
So if he's not going to be there, it is a literal slap in the face to our democracy.
But I don't think so, Rashid. Trump is like a child who is having a tantrum.
Narcissistic.
I don't want to go. I'm not going to go.
So he's going to do everything he can to mess up everything he can because he knows he's gone. He knows he's gone. January 20th, he's done.
It's a wrap.
Right. So no, don't come. Who gives a damn? We don't want you to even be there.
Yeah.
Don't come.
But now he has been labeled.
How do you really feel? Please don't hold back.
I can't stand it.
Right.
But now, Lori.
But now he has been labeled what he rightfully deserves to be labeled as, a fascist.
Yep. Narcissist.
So I have a question.
Forever.
So I have a question. So this other platform that I look under, the grassroots, and what was brought up was, so they banned him, right, on these different platforms.
Yes, on all social media platforms. Twitter, Instagram,
Facebook. But I know, but I'm saying being banned from those platforms, giving those platforms that much power. Do you think eventually they're going to start banning us because we know there's freedom of speech?
They're already doing that. And they're privately owned companies. A privately owned company can do whatever the hell they want to do. They can refuse service to you. You see them little signs when you go in and say, we reserve the right to refuse service to anyone? It's the same thing with them. They have their own companies. So if I open a media company and I don't like what you said, I can take you off.
Yeah.
That's true.
Right. Okay.
But here's the question of the day. Why did it take white people storming the castle for you to take him off of social media? If we just think about all of the crazy stuff he has said on social media,
just thought he was entertaining. He was good news. He's a reality show entertainer, and they just loved the fact that he
was making mad money. In other words, they was making mad money off of him.
On top of that,
the one thing that they didn't know, they had a plan. They're using him as much as they could, but they didn't know how dangerous his voice is.
Right.
He has 75 million nuts. 88
million.
So
million followers,
million.
right?
And you know half of those dudes will act on what they say. So you think of 40 million will probably act on doing something violent. So if he says storm the White House, he's gonna have 40 million soldiers with guns storming the White House. So he's very dangerous. And you can shut him up with Twitter, but he still could get.
He still got it's already out there. I'm with you. Yeah. I'm with you too. Dante, what you think about all this, sweetie? What you thinking?
Well, me personally, just coming from the South and seeing racism personally myself and going through it. Everything that I'm seeing on the news as far as how people are reacting and even how they stormed the building, I think, like I said before, it's a reality check to not only white Americans, but African Americans too. If you look back at the many years that they've said so much about us and what they're afraid of what we're going to do. I think the biggest fear to white Americans who think like Trump supporters or anybody on that side, they think that we're holding in this pain from slavery, holding in this pain from oppression, holding in this pain, and one day we just gonna riot and do what they did. For 400 years or more, we have kept our composure and showed them our intelligence and our humility. And I think now, if anything, it's important for African Americans to see that this is what they thought we would do. And it's funny how our vote,
I'm glad it happened.
You know, it's funny how our vote is so important to either party, whether it be Republican or Democrat. And it's so funny how they put us on this pedestal on how they want us to be, and they can't reach that. It's a lesson for us to learn that this is why they put us on the pedestal that we do. This is why we influence the world the way that we do. With all of the oppression and anger that we have, we ain't never acted like that. The Walk of Selma, we just walking and singing church hymns, and they sicking dogs and spraying hoses and killing a couple of people. You understand what I'm saying? Fred Hampton, a Black Panther Party in Chicago, the man had his hands up, shooting him in the back in his drawers, all kind of stuff. And this is what they do. They can storm, they can stomp, and they do all of that. It's a lesson for us to see how important we are to this country.
And a
that means we need to create our own party. We need to create our own party.
Listen,
forget black, red, and black. We need to create our own party.
Now you talking.
You see it. That part.
I gotta respond to that first. What she just said, because she said two things that triggered my mind. She said something about red and black. Forget about red and blue. Forget about that. That's true. We got to separate ourselves from being Democrat and Republican because both parties are against black people. Democrats have killed many millions of babies of ours by their Planned Parenthood. And I would have probably a 25-year-old son if I didn't make that mistake when I was 19 of aborting my child. So this is what they put into our communities, abortion clinics and all that. That's Democrats. And then you got the Republicans who are straight up in your face, nasty and hateful. They hate everything black. So they don't want us to have anything. They rather suffer and not receive a welfare check that they need more than us. And they'll vote against that just so that we can't have it. So that's how much hate the Republicans have. So we don't have no friends on either party. So we need to separate from amongst these people. We are God's people. And they don't, some of them know it. Some of us don't know it. And the white people, so I'm talking about the superior white people, they know who we are. They know that we are special people because we don't have that hate. You see how we don't hate, you don't talk about black people going up there and shooting up a whole school. There's a reason for that. We're God's people. We're not that evil. We don't have that evil blood in us. The white people could kill, they could kill anybody at any time. They'll shoot up everybody. If they have a bad day, they want to shoot up the whole planet. Us black people, you don't hear about us doing nothing major, like, killing multiple people. You don't hear about mass shootings with black people because we're a very special people. We're God's chosen people.
And the Bible tells you the Bible tells you that too. It tells you to separate yourself.
Did you know we would have never lost an election if they didn't come up with this electoral college? Yes. They came up with that because they think that's the only way. They had to find a way to somehow win. We win every popular vote.
Every popular vote. And then that's the reason why I don't want anybody to ever think that their vote doesn't count, because we have the more power than we think. And they don't want us to know that we have that power. We have the power. There was over 80 million people that voted for Biden.
Exactly.
80 million people. That's more than half. That's power.
That was more than Obama. That was more
than Obama. And that goes to show you, that goes to show you we have the power that we don't use. And just like my grandmother told me not long ago, and she passed, rest her sweet soul, I asked her, why does she vote? And she said, because they told me I couldn't.
And you know what? Funny? We would have had 90 million votes if they didn't take, I don't know if y'all noticed, but you notice your mailboxes wasn't out there? Yeah. They took the mailboxes and everything. They tried
That's the only reason Trump won. Trump won because we didn't turn out. Georgia turned red because
I'm talking about Trump and them. Listen, my friends who like Trump and Trump himself and everybody, in 2016, I'm going to tell y'all.
How they feel about him now, Cheryl?
No, in 2016, see
what?
They knew Joe Biden was a bad boy. They were scared of Joe Biden in 2016. They knew something about this dude. But now I see what they knew. You know what I mean? Now I see what they knew Joe Biden was going to whip his ass. They knew it.
He's still a clown. Joe Biden's still a clown.
They all are.
They all are.
Okay,
Anybody in politics is
easy.
a clown.
It's just
Anybody in
the way
politics
to
is a
go.
clown.
You know what?
But I'll take the clown over the
say
devil
that.
any day.
I'm not
That
saying
preach,
Biden.
Shelly.
That
See
part.
the
They
clown.
both devils, but they
Yeah, we
both
just gotta
devils
go for
though.
the
I'll
Just
take
lesser
the
took
evil.
one
clown
devil
over
to the
Wow.
the
next
devil
devil.
any day. I'll
Yep.
take the
Wow.
clown over a
No,
devil any
Over
day.
I
Satan.
resent that. I resent that. Joe Biden ain't
What
no.
part, Tad?
He is
Yeah,
a
Joe
clown, and
Biden
he a
is not
devil
a clown.
too.
No,
They
he's not.
Yeah.
they all have their faults. That's what we're trying to tell
Ain't
each other.
nobody
Joe
perfect.
Many,
Biden,
There's
so
nobody.
many black people got put in
Joy,
jail behind
Joe
that.
Biden has done
You
some
listen
Yeah.
to
stuff
how he
to
talk.
make us.
Ugh.
I can see why Chris is saying that. He has done some stuff to black
Haven't we
people
all?
or
Haven't
said
we
some
all?
stuff. But I'm gonna tell you something. Let me finish.
Yeah, they all have.
And we
forgive
have
him,
to.
Chris.
Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. I forgive
No,
him, Chris.
ain't nobody perfect. But when you in office, you have to do for the people. You're not doing for yourself. And he wasn't doing nothing for the people.
Yeah.
Which one?
Biden?
Which one?
Biden too.
Biden.
You gotta
You
keep.
bugging.
You still gotta keep. What we trying to say? Because some of us, half of us, are saying two different things. That we gotta keep one eye open on Biden also.
Exactly.
We got out the water with.
Yeah.
We know Trump was pure evil. That's obvious.
Yeah.
Any fool knows that. But now
Yeah.
the sneakiest one is the one that you don't know about. You don't see it coming, and that's how Biden is. And you don't know what you're gonna get. He may.
What about if
It's better than having Trump for sure, but we don't know. We got to keep our eyes
Yeah,
open
but
with him
Biden
too.
is a politician, right?
Yeah,
So
smooth
he's
talk.
gonna play politics. Yeah. Everything isn't going to be, save the black people, save the minority people. And yeah, there's lobbyists and money and all that exchange because he's a politician. The scary thing about Trump, he wasn't no damn politician.
No.
You want somebody who was an actor to be your surgeon?
No.
And listen,
Troy,
No,
star.
what
He's
he
a
doing,
TV
he
fucking
playing
reality
apprentice.
star.
Troy,
This
they
was
said
a
the
reality
same thing
show
about
for him.
Obama.
This is
They
also
said
the
the
big
same
fucking
thing
reality
about
show.
Obama. I like the
Obama
way
was a politician, grew
Obama
up
was
a
the man.
politician.
Yes.
Obama was the most perfect president as far as being a politician, meaning that you don't know what he's really thinking because he's so perfect. He spoke
so
perfect.
cool.
He was cool. He had everything in him, but you still don't know.
Prima.
I'm a Christian, so I can't go with him. There's some things I cannot roll with him with. So I still think that Obama fell short of helping more black people out when I thought he was going to help.
Congress. He had no relationship with the Congress when he was there. Every type of policy, they vetoed it, or at least
true. They did.
Yeah, through the lens of racism.
No matter what he tried to do, they
Exactly.
blocked it. Come on,
exactly. They want to blame Obama for everything, but just think, he has to have, just like Biden had to have those two Georgia Senate get anything done.
There you go.
They were against Obama. Mitch wouldn't let Obama do anything. There was things they wanted to propose that they couldn't even bring to the floor because Mitch wouldn't even let them bring it to the floor.
There you have it. Yep.
That is true.
In my
opinion,
it was people when President Obama won, racism and hatred was so deep that they were like, okay, you got him in office. We're not going to let him do shit though.
Right.
So you know what? He want to give everybody $1 billion. No. I don't even have to hear what the bill is because those were along those lines of racism and hatred. Right. I think one fundamental thing we have to accept, we may not like, is that America was built on fear and racism. Right. And it is woven into the fabric and the tapestry of this country.
Absolutely.
And it's never going to change, people.
It won't change.
It will not change. In my opinion, it won't completely change until Jesus comes back and delivers us.
That's a fact.
So people do the best they can do underneath that premise.
Exactly.
I think Minister Louis Farrakhan said about Obama, and I think this is what a lot of African Americans need to see, is that Obama is the Jackie Robinson of politics.
Amen.
He's not going to be the one to make all of the changes. He's just the one to kick the door in.
Correct.
He's going to be the one that started off. We just going to have to wait for the Willie Mazes and the Satchel Pages that come after him. You know, even Tupac had made a comment He may not be the one to make a change or whatever, but he may spark the mind of the person that does. I think Obama was great for our community because it gave us inspiration to say, put in that extra effort. Because you got to look at it, like you said, cousin, you look at Crispus Attucks, the first man that ever died for this country was a black man. The only reason he even was able to get into the war was so he can be free. The fact that he became a soldier so he could be free. That was way centuries ago. And we still have the same issues today that man died for way back then. If anything, this is an eye-opener to us to say we can't look for either party to do it. We have to be more active and we have to be more a part of, because we do have an importance in this country. This country was built off our backs. And then further along, there came more ethnic people, the Native Americans as well as the Mexicans. We have to come together as one to say, okay, we can't look for Moses all the time. We got to come as a group. And we got to say what we want. We got to show them what we want and take care of our own, because we can't wait forever, but we can't just bash Obama all the time now. The man couldn't do it by himself.
No, he couldn't.
Thank you for that, Dante. That's so true.
That is. Stevie Johnson in our Zoom room says, I don't trust any of it. It all seems staged. The cops letting them in, same players showing up, ? They seem they're all on his payroll. And on social media, 45 said he's going to start his own social media. So I think all of it is a setup for more to come.
He's not going to go away at all. No, quietly, for sure.
He's more powerful than he was before. He's got. I heard he got a lot of money donations because he was asking for money to donate to fight against this the election fraud, and people were sending him money after money. I'm talking 400 million, some ridiculous number, 200 million. So he has a lot of money coming his way, and he can do whatever he wants with it. He'll probably start his own media. And that way they can stay in contact with each other. And anytime he wants to, start trouble, he could send an army of whites to disrupt and destroy whatever Biden is trying to build. So, it's not over. The war has just begun.
No, I agree with you, Troy.
Yeah.
I absolutely
agree.
But
what is war?
What do you think we as Black people fall into all of this? Do we? What are we? Are we still pawns on the board? What do you all see, Drew?
Oh, this has brought us more awareness. So like Troy said earlier, I just think we gotta be smart, be aware, listen and watch, and just be ready to, we gotta fall under somebody's leadership. We gotta make a decision.
Our own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either fall up under our own leadership.
You know what? I truly believe that. So who's gonna start it?
That's what I was getting ready to say.
That's why you need.
Y'all talking about it, but who's gonna start it?
It's being if
it has to be a leader. It has to be a. See, we rely on people, but me, I'm more about God. That's my leader. So that's why I don't roll with the Republican. I don't fall for that trap of the Republican Democrat and let them think for me. I think for myself. Whoever's rolling with the old-fashioned Bible, if they going by those commands, I'm rolling with you. I'm gonna roll with that person, and I can't go with Democrat because they're not rolling with that Bible. Neither is the Republicans. They only have hate. They're hypocrites. So so I have to be on my own. I recruit children. I talk to kids, and I wake up the kids because I try talking to adults. They already been brainwashed. They put it. There's millions of dollars being put into music industry, to anything that you watch, the TV, to make sure that Black people are the most ignorant, dumbest people in the world. They put a lot of money into that, and it's mostly Jews. Now I think I talked about this already, but they put a lot of money into making us look to stay stupid and ignorant, making us watch Real Housewives, making us watch hip hop or listen to hip hop music. And most of the hip hop music I grew up on, they didn't talk about degraded women. We frowned upon anybody from NWA talking about a bitch or a hoe and talking about women in that way. I was more of Jungle Brothers, you know, partying, Tribe Called Quest, or Africa, not Africa, but there's a Public Enemy. I was on that tip where you were talking about educating Black people and making sure that we going in the right direction. But when you put millions of dollars into making sure that we sag our jeans and talk ignorant and put idols up in front of us that are like a Cardi B, and we over there, you know, picking her up, making sure that she gets all the airplay. We keep on taking 2 steps forward and 10 steps back every time we get a misrepresentation of a idol like Cardi B, Jay-Z, and the rest of those morons, Beyonce, that are talking reckless and dividing. Beyonce's there just to divide Black women and Black men. That's what she's there for, and she does a great job of it because her music is always bashing males. So you got to be very careful what you're listening to and what you're listening to.
I'm just saying all this Jesus talk, but aren't we all being a little judgmental?
No, judgmental. Righteous judgment is always good. You don't want your kid over there
righteous in your opinion. Yeah, righteous in your opinion. Yeah.
That's your opinion.
It's not my opinion. I go by a book. I didn't write the Bible. It's not my opinion.
I read the book too.
But I didn't write the Bible. I just go by the book.
I didn't write it either.
So I go to the book. When I put my opinion in it, it's not going to sound right. But if I go to the Bible and I read it and I give it a
right,
version,
then
I'm right. So
no, I'm saying, what do you mean by that, Shelly? Just elaborate.
What?
When you were saying your opinion, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you could just extrapolate a little bit.
Well,
I just want to make sure you're good.
I'm good. If I'm not mistaken, it's not up to us. It basically, doesn't the Bible say that it's not really up to us to judge? But I feel a lot of judgmentalness going on. And I want somebody to explain that to me. I'm not being combative and I'm not trying to be ugly about it. I'm just saying, everybody has their own path. Everybody has to answer to one God. So who are we to judge what another person does? And when the Bible said there's only one person that can judge us.
So I understand what he was saying because he said judge righteously. He said you can judge, but you have to judge righteously.
Yeah, exactly.
You can judge at what the actions of, you're not judging the person at what they're doing. You're judging the act of what they are doing.
Exactly.
That's the judgment right there. It's not that, I'm talking about that person.
I don't either.
That verse, I'll explain what you've done. Let her finish.
Behavior. It's their behavior what he's judging. He's not judging that person because the person could do whatever they want to do.
Right.
He's relying on the act of what they're doing is what he is judging, which we can do that. We can judge the act of what somebody's doing, but we're not condemning them for what they're doing. That's what the Bible says.
That sounded kind of condemning.
Yes.
It is.
To say that Beyonce is a man basher and she's poisoning the minds of young people.
Right.
That's judging Beyonce. That's not judging her behavior.
It's called righteous judgment. I'm judging the actions of, if you are saying it's okay to sag your pants and look like and have your butt exposed to the world, we're never going to get respect from any nation. I'm talking about the Mexicans are looking at you like, look at these clowns over here. They don't even know how to wear their pants right. So how are we going to follow them? So we supposed to be leaders. If we got leaders that like Cardi B who are always talking negative and degrading themselves, and Beyonce who's always talking negative about a Black male in her songs. If we think that's right.
I mean, I don't know every song that Beyonce made because I don't listen to music like that. But I do know that I know some old songs that aren't bashing men.
No, I know
they're talking about women empowerment. They're talking about feminism. They're talking about girl power. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, but you have to listen to recent stuff. I watched the Netflix special of her and her bumblebee beehive, and I heard the words that were coming out of her mouth, and it was nothing like her old stuff. It's nothing like her old stuff. Her old stuff, I was a fan.
Troy.
Her old stuff, I was a fan.
She's probably changing. She's probably changing. Wait, girl. She's probably changing now because she's getting off of the music scene and going back into the closet, because I saw something that she did and said that she was getting off of she's not going to be making no more music right now. She's going to start focusing on her family, and she's about to go in like a little, like in some kind of cocoon or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder what's going on with her.
Because she regret all the garbage that they make her put out. They're making her put out this garbage, and she doesn't want it. That's not her.
So she's being like slave to to it all.
To the industry, and just like if you listen
like
to
Tamar to Shelly, like Tamar, remember?
Yeah, and if you listen to what's the girl's name? Lauryn Hill. She explained it all in her videos, in her songs. She talks about how the industry puts you in a box and makes you put out this degrading music. And
the industry doesn't make you do that. You make a choice to do that.
You make a choice.
No, I beg to differ. They
want to keep the contract.
Hold on.
Right.
They will tell you to do exactly what they want you to do, and you better do it.
Right.
That's the fact.
Because you signed a contract.
That part.
Right.
Yeah, when you sign
You
that
don't sign
contract.
the contract, you ain't got to do shit, Troy.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
When you
And
sign that
but if you don't sign that contract, they will not push your album. They will not push your music.
Right. That's a choice.
And that's Lauryn Hill. That's Lauryn Hill's whole career. That's her whole career.
That's her choice.
Troy, but one thing
Dave Chappelle.
you have a problem doing.
Exactly,
Troy,
Dave Chappelle.
and
Dave Chappelle.
And
walked away.
I find the people like yourself, it's okay that you believe in God and you want to help people, Troy. But I feel as though you look down upon. I feel as though you look down upon people that you're trying to help instead of, it's the way you go. It's like you're almost putting yourself up here, and the person that does something that you don't like, that you try to, what you
Never
say.
That, because I was, me, I was worse than those people because you know me. I went to LA with you, being a little hoe and doing all the stupid things back then. But
what I'm saying is,
I hate that shit. You got to come to a point where you once you wake up, you got to put away childish things. I can't be that hoe I was back then. I have to.
Well, maybe they got to wake up on their own time. Maybe they need to wake up on their own time.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is,
maybe I said maybe they need to wake up on their own time.
No, but the thing is,
like you did.
You said, look, what you just said. You said on their own time. The fact of the matter is, they don't have that time. I was blessed to make it to where I am, where I can talk to you today and tell you. Hold on, Tab. Hold on, Tab. Let me finish. I'll be quick with this. I was blessed to be able to live through being a little hoe, getting shot at in the clubs. I was blessed to make it and be able to talk to you right then. But those people, the people right now, they don't have the time. They could be struck down dead in their own sin.
That part. How do you know?
You don't know if you're going to be taken out.
You don't know when the Lord is coming back.
It might be tonight. It might be
Let me explain something. Somebody, let me explain something. Four kids just died in a vehicle accident, just like that. You don't know when you're going to meet your maker.
Vehicle accidents when you were in LA being a hoe. People were still dying.
Exactly. I could have been gone in my sin and going straight to hell. So that's why I have to say, if you have a voice now, hold on. If you have a voice now to speak to people and tell them, don't go down that way, and you have a chance, the opportunity to speak to children, and you tell them, don't do this, don't have sex before marriage and have a baby before marriage because it's going to break up the family. If I can say it now, if I can say it to him now, I should say it. I'll be an animal. I will have to be a fool not to say it.
Boy, hold on.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen to
I think Deontay got something he wants to say. Go ahead, Deontay.
Go ahead, Mr. Gerald. Go ahead, Mr. Gerald.
Hold on. I'm 58 years old. And you say something to me all the time.
You know I do.
You don't know. You don't listen, you don't even acknowledge the fact that I've changed. And I understand and I've listened to you. But Troy, it's only for so much. Listen, bro. And the thing about it is, when I come to you, if I see a little something, because you ain't got too much bad about you, you ain't got too much, but sometimes I might see something. If I come to you, the world is in the air. So what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Get out of here.
I can see that. I can see that. Okay, Kate.
I want to hear what Deontay
that's pretty much
has
me and
to
Tabitha's
say.
relationship. He right. I'm not gonna lie about that because I'm like, you can't tell me nothing because that's being a hypocrite because I took you from where you was, where Tapper was before. He changed a lot, but he's still wilding sometimes. I have to tell him, yo, chill.
But
She not the one. I have to tell him, yo, chill. She not the one. She not the one. Don't even mess with that one. So yeah, he helps you out. But I want to hear what my man got to say. What's his name?
Go ahead, Deontay.
He speaks wisdom.
All right, Mr. Troy. One thing that I will say, I would agree that a lot of the music that is out today isn't great for youngsters to listen to. But this is why it's important, you know, for guys like yourself and Mr. Gerald, when you see guys like me, when you see guys like Stevie, that's when you come up and you give us knowledge. Don't necessarily judge us, because it's not about what you say, it's how you say it too.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially if you're somebody that you was once in my shoes. Because there's a lot of us like me. At age 21, I buried 3 brothers to murder. One brother passed away of cancer. So the mentality of where I come from, there's a lot of older guys that ain't been through the tragedies that I've been through. You know what I mean? So it's all about the approach. You can say, hey, you doing this wrong or you doing that wrong, man, you whack. Teach somebody, educate them. Come up to them correctly.
What I do. Thank you for that advice, and that's exactly what I do. I tell them in a gentle way. But when I talk to older people, I'm not gentle because you should know better. But when I talk to young people, it's more like a soft tone. But when I'm talking to old people, I'm like, yo, come on now. You 50 plus, you still ain't read the 4 Gospels yet?
First of all,
you ain't read the 4 Gospels
yet?
I'm like, come on, man. Step up your game, because we ain't got much time. We got to get these kids in the right way, in the right path.
So forceful with what he's trying to approach you with. And the reason is because you guys don't know this. Troy has 4 older brothers that his life, they destroyed him. Yeah.
5.
So now he's trying to be this, to get his voice across. Because with his 5 older brothers, he never had a voice. So he needs this voice now.
Good for him.
Right. But you know what, Mr. Troy, another thing, Mr. Troy, I would say is for y'all generation, you know, for the older generation, when you look at it, because my uncle used to tell us this all the time when we would have our little cousins with us. If we was doing some nonsense, or at the time, if we wanted to be gang members or whatever the case may be, we can't talk to them or bark at them because all they know is the stupid stuff we taught them. Because if they've been under us and under our wing, you understand what I'm saying? Like I tell everybody all the time, the generations has always changed. Like when you look back at like the blaxploitation times where y'all had Richard Roundtree, Ron O'Neal, like there was some strong black men at that time. Now when you look at us, it's different.
It's all rappers. It's all hip hop artists. Ice Cube, Ice-T. Those are the Martin Luther King.
You want to know what it is though, Mr. Troy? It's because like the times, right? Where your older guys that taught you was the Richard Rowntrees, the Ron O'Neal, the Fred Williamsons, and all of that. Our big homies was the old dogs, the crack babies from the 80s.
Yep.
So that's when your generation steps in and filled that void that we didn't have. Because we didn't have the same guys that was teaching us how to move, how to talk, how to be respectful to women. Fortunately enough, I had some strong black women raise me. They was gonna make sure I act right.
Exactly. You can see it when you speak. You know. I know you were raised properly just by the way you speak and the proper language you use and the way your mannerism and everything. But I deal with a lot of kids who are unprivileged. When I coach the kids, I'm dealing with no fathers around. I'm buying them the drinks and buying them the uniforms. I'm putting all my money into them, and I'm looking for one dad to help me out. They show up one day, you won't see them again. So it goes back to when I get angry, I have a right to be angry because I'm putting in that work to make a difference in my community to make sure these young people are going the right direction. But then I got this rapper talking about killing another black man. And that's who they look up to because they're playing it in their radio and you hear that 12 hours a day and you hear me only for like 20 minutes when I got you in my on the practice court or in church or wherever I'm speaking at. I got them for like 20 minutes, but I got to compete with a knucklehead that listens to 12 hours of whoever the latest rapper is right now, talking about killing each other and calling a bitch a hoe and all this other stuff. And I can't compete with that. So it's frustrating.
Yes, you can,
so,
Troy. If you pour into that child the word of God, if you pour into that child what the Lord wants us to do, that the word of God can compete with anything. And children may depart from it, but they will always come back to that word. And that's what you have to do. You have to empower that young person so that they don't want to hear about a woman being a bitch or being a hoe. The one thing about my little cousin I love so much respect, Mr. Gerald, Miss Lori, right? That's because people poured into him. Respect. Yes. What you're doing in your community is beautiful, Troy. Pour into those children. Let them know what God wants of them. They have to be the owners. We all have to carry our own cross. No matter how much you don't want them to have their pants hanging round down the ankles, until they decide they don't want them hanging down around their ankles, that's never going to change. You have to teach these young people that the Lord said you can be in the world, but not of the world.
Exactly.
And that's what you got to teach them. That's what I do through my job.
I call them. I try to tell them they're kings. They're kings
little
and
black
queens,
people.
not thugs and they call themselves bitches. How you going to call yourself a bitch and think it's cool? And that's why I get mad at Cardi B, because she can say something and have everybody, and it'll sound cool if she says it. And then if you know what,
Mr. Troy, but you know what, Mr. Cool, because they don't know a difference. They don't have anything yet to combat that Cardi B with. You have to empower them and fortify them with the breastplate of righteousness. So they have something to stand against.
Yes.
Right.
I hear you.
And Mr. Troy, another good thing, Mr. Troy, is when you do, be around these youngins and you do speak to them and talk to them, then you give them options. The one thing that I can say about the older guys that was in my neighborhood, or my uncles, especially, they would give me options. So if I'm listening, I'm a 90s baby. So if I'm listening to Heavy D or MC Hammer, or I'm listening to anything like that, because at one point in time, they didn't like them neither. You know what I'm saying? Looking back, they was clean, but they ain't like them.
They were clean. Heavy D wouldn't even curse on his album. He wouldn't even curse on his album. But you know what? But my uncles and my cousins, they would educate me a little bit more. They'd be like, hey, okay, you like Jay-Z, you like Biggie, you like Pac. You ever heard of Rakim? You ever heard of Cool G Rap? I'm like, nah, man, I ain't listening to that. But then they would break down with 16 bars.
It's a great example.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just give them the options that they need. Because all they need, the radio ain't gonna give them their options.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't.
TV ain't gonna give it to them. You got to be the one to give them them options, to be like, okay, if you like Cardi B, listen to Lauren. Listen to Queen Latifah, listen to Yo-Yo, listen to different ones like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I hear you.
Yo,
that's
D,
that's what I'm trying to do.
You had 3 blood brothers that was killed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All 3 murdered different time.
Your brothers.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is tough.
Man,
it was all in like a 2-year span. 2 got murdered 1 year, and then 1 got murdered like a week before my birthday in Maryland. And then in that year, later that year, my last brother that was living passed away of cancer.
Oh my goodness.
That's horrible.
Yeah, but you know what? With that being said, because I don't want to dwell.
You have a humbleness inside your spirit that I see since I've been talking to you.
Well, don't take this the wrong way, but I can tell he's been around women.
No other.
Women
you got a humbleness.
Great job, everybody.
I can tell he's been raised by women. I can tell.
You know, I'm not going to take it to heart, but I'm talking to the brother right now. It had nothing to do with no woman. The humbleness that you have, brother, it pours out, man. You know what I mean? Whoever taught you, brother, sister, whoever, like Lori said, man, they really they was really strong influence on you. And I love it, man. Keep it up, bro. Just keep it up.
Oh yeah, man, for sure. One thing I will always say, man, is one, the black women that I was raised around, they old school. It was different. You understand what I'm saying?
That part.
And another thing is God, man. You know, everything that I've been through, there was one point in time, and this is by age 21. So this is before I had my daughter or anything like that, right? So being a young man and having to move forward, and all of my male figures that I would have called when my daughter was born or when I graduated college or anything like that wasn't around. But this is how good God works. Look how many people now I can relate to and talk to. And somebody that can learn something from me. I ain't go through all of that for no reason. God ain't kept me here for no reason at all. You understand what I'm saying?
That's a fact,
and it's like now it's the turning of the tide where though I was the baby brother of all these, you know, all my brothers, now look at how many people I got behind me, whether it be my cousins or whether it be homeboys, the kind of wisdom that I got. There shouldn't be a handful of people that I can't affect in a positive way. Because then whatever you got to say, once I tell you what I've been through, you can't complain to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you can't make, like you said, Mr. Choi, you can't make no excuses. It's your choice to either go left or go right. So if you see me and I had every reason to go left and now I went right and you see how good it's going for me, you ain't got no choice but to roll with it.
Yep. True. Fact.
Amen. Amen. This is a beautiful night, everybody. You see how you doing, Queen C? Are you having a good time? Amen. Amen. Sister Chris, how you doing? I'm just checking in with everybody, guys. Lord, you taking a look at the clock? I know, right? Look at that. We were just talking a little bit about 45 and getting ready for 46 and just traveling along here on the Poetry of Justice show with JackieRay Phillips on yaxradio.com. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that it's time for us to maybe just turn the tide a little bit. And, Shelly C, Queen Sia, you may or may not remember, but Shelly C of the chat, Queen Sia, they air each third Saturday of the month here on the Poetry of Justice show. Let me look this way. Every third Saturday of the month. And what we are a group of girlfriends. We've been friends for like 30 plus years. So it's, Lori here on the panel, Shelly C, myself, and we have another gal, Tanya Michelle. So what we do on that show, we kind of have all kind of different fun topics, different fanfare. And of course, we want you to be a part of some of those shows coming forward, Queen Sia. But I just wanted to give you the history behind that. Shelly brings us our celebrity segments, particularly to the ladies of the chat and here tonight. So Shelly's going to give us some updates, but what we're going to talk a little bit about, particularly as a group, because Gerald has some ideas about it as well. We wanted to talk about, from my hometown and upgrowing, Compton, California, Dr. Dre. We wanted to do a little bit of a divorce update on Dre. We want to do a health update on Dre. And there may be some speculation about that brain aneurysm tied to steroid usage. So I'm thinking, what? So look at what's going on. Look at Deontay. So that we're going to switch reels a little bit here on the Poetry of Justice show. So Shelly C, I'm going to turn it over to you, dog. You may have some other ones before that, but I know I'm waiting on the Dr. DRE.
I got some tea.
Get the tea.
Dr. Dre, he's been a topic of conversation for us on many shows. And as you guys all know, he was hospitalized with a brain aneurysm, and thank God he is doing better. They're reporting. But one of the things I wanted to update you guys on was the divorce. And right now, Dr. Dre has agreed to pay his estranged wife, Nicole, $2 million in temporary support. Okay.
And you agreed to that $2 million per month
from his hospital bed.
Oh, see, when people get sick,
not per month. Not per month.
My mama used to say they do that until they can't, and then when they get sick, they start recalculating shit. But I'm just saying.
Nope. It's
a one-time fee.
Yes.
It's a one-time check. It's a
one-time check.
I didn't get to finish. It's a one-time
Okay, I'm sorry.
check. It's a one-time check, and that he'll pay it, and at least until the next divorce hearing that is in April. So she gets $2 million until April. Okay.
And wait a minute, dog. Did you say he did that from his hospital bed, dog?
From his hospital bed. I'm reading it right here, as TMZ has said that he agreed to do this, and he signed to it from his hospital bed for temporary spousal support, because he's not coughing up $5 million she wants for the divorce attorneys. Okay, so he's saying right now, I'm gonna give you $2 million until April, till our next hearing. But basically, you take the $2 million and leave me alone until April, our next hearing. Let me heal. So, and he agreed to this from his hospital bed.
Wow.
YaksRadio.com.
Sources say that Dre will continue to cover Nicole's living expenses at the Malibu pad, as well as her mother's Pacific Palisades home for the next several months. So it's not just the $2 million check that she has till April. There's some other things in it. Okay.
However, look at Sia and Lori must be thinking the same thing, because y'all got
wait. However, Dre will not cover Nicole's security costs, so she has to pay for her own security, because she was asking for him to cover the security. He's like, here's
security.
She needed
on security,
but he's taking care of her and her mama.
Right.
Okay. So I know that this whole this whole divorce thing has ruffled a little feathers. I don't have Tanya Michelle here, but that kind of ruffled her feathers, and I know it ruffled Big Tap's feathers. But I'm interested in hearing what Troy has to say. I'm interested in hearing what Troy has to say, and
Troy.
Then what Sia has to say, and I also want to hear, because I love hearing from Dante. Dante seems to be the best spirit, the best calm. I'm so sorry, but he's just there. He's there. He's already there, and he's not even 50 years old yet. So I'm interested, and then I want to hear Dante at the end. Can you tell me, Mr. Troy, what do you think of all of that?
You talk about Dr. Dre?
Yes.
Shelly, just for the record, it's Deontay.
What did I say?
Dante. But
I'm sorry. Deon.
Just so you know, because I know how we love. You know how we love it. All right.
Well, all right. My comment on Dr. Dre. Oh, well, let me tell you the history of my Dr. Dre. I had his album, The Chronic, and it influenced me greatly during that era. And there was a song he had on there with Snoop Dogg called "Bitches Ain't Shit But Hoes and Tricks." Lick on nothing and suck the. Yeah, and I rocked that song because if a girl broke my heart or whatever it was, it built my. That was a song you played, and it kind of made you feel better about being angry with that and just saying hell with all these bees, right? So that's how he influenced me back then. And then eventually you wake up and you say, and you look back and you look and you hear yourself. You remember that you used to listen to that nonsense back then, and you're like, damn, I can't believe I listened to that. At one time, I listened to only good music. And when hip hop just started, it was only good stuff out there I would listen to. And then the Wu-Tang came, and then all of a sudden I said, what is this violence? And then I got accustomed to it, and then I started rocking that. And NWA prepared me for the way I was dealing with females and saying F the police, because I didn't like the police either. So, but I knew the Bible because I was raised in the church. So, like she said, if you raise if you raise up a child right, they'll come back to it. So I came back to it, and I finally see that Dr. Dre was in error, and Tupac also, and Biggie Smalls also, who are I was very big fans of also, because I saw, even though Tupac, he'll catch you with something positive every once in a while. He'll throw something positive at you, and you could rock that, like a Dear Mama song. And you had your Biggie who had all negative. I couldn't find anything positive about most of his music. But Dr. Dre, he's a very important person in the hip hop industry. But I think that he did more harm than good. He's a man that he has to ask for forgiveness, and he has to repent. He has to turn from his ways. And I think he probably was turning from his ways. I don't know what he's up to now, but I wish he didn't divorce his wife. I wouldn't divorce her. Because one, because the Bible says not to, and two, because it's just not. It just seems like you're giving in, and he's not mentally healthy enough to make that decision at this time. I think he should wait until he's recovered, and then he could think about it.
But
Mr.
Troy, it's her decision. She has decided she wants the divorce. She wants the $2 million. So what would you say?
He wanted he wants the divorce also, right?
Correct.
Oh well, then.
What are your thoughts of her getting $2 million and him taking care of her mom in Palisades, her place in Palisades, and her getting the $2 million until April, and then her eventually wanting $2 million per month?
I'm not giving her $2 million a month, but if he could afford it, I don't know what kind of money he has, but if he has money like that, it's really not going to hurt him giving her $2 million a month. I don't think it's going to hurt him too much. So I really don't get into that kind of gossip, but I don't think it's going to hurt him. So by giving her $2 million a month, I know she doesn't deserve it, but that's the law. So you go by the law of the land and just pay up that $2 million. It's not going to stress him out one bit if he has money coming in, residual income coming in all the time. I think he could afford it, so it's not going to hurt him none. And so my opinion is that just do it, just do what the law says, and just move on.
I know, Lori G.
Lori G, Sia.
Wow. Well, I mean, I don't know. Go ahead, Queen Sia.
please, Sia, please.
I think we had this last discussion. We talked about if that amount of money was suitable for her. And Shelly, you had said that, if it was a woman, if it's a wife, there's no limit to what she's supposed to get. She's supposed to get the ultimate amount that she requests for in a divorce decree or whatever. I think we were talking about a lot of that.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. What I was saying is who are we to determine what the amount should be that she gets? We don't know. She's still entitled in California. I don't know about anywhere else, but in California, she's still entitled to the same lifestyle that she's had with Dre for 25 years. So yeah,
I think we were going back and forth with that. I was listening to everyone and their opinion on that part. After carefully looking at it as well, I mean, she must have been hurt. He must have put her through a lot. And for that, has every right to ask for what she wants,
I like that answer.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Why not ask? Why not ask?
Just my word.
I think Dre just signed off because he needs to focus on healing. And I want him to heal. I like Dre. I want him to heal. Now, what's this linkage with the steroids?
Yeah.
Well, he has been looking rather cut lately. Rather cut. He's been looking pretty good. Washboard stomach, cut arms. He's been looking kind of good. So people were saying that maybe this aneurysm was related to steroids that he had been taking. It does kind of do different things to the brain, not just chemical imbalances sometimes, but they also may have something to do with an aneurysm. And I was wondering if anybody, had heard anything about that and how you feel about that. Do you think steroids have that type of effect on the brain? I know, in my opinion, I think that sometimes they do cause a chemical imbalance in the brain. I mean, we've seen it with some athletes, that act erratic from taking the steroids and having different effects on bodies. And I know that we've heard it sometimes they even cause cancer. So I'm wondering, does anybody think that maybe that could be it? I mean, I'm not accusing him of taking them, but I'm saying he is looking rather cut.
I think it has a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm. You do?
Go.
And I don't think it has to do with him like like taking it as a medicine. He's taking it religiously because he wants to look a certain way, and he's looking that way. But it like me and Troy have other friends that has done the same thing as him, and the same thing happened to them. But they
aneurysm.
Yes, and they died.
They died?
So
Yeah,
let me ask the men on
and
the
not
panel.
only that, listen, there's a lot of people there right now in show business scared. Busta Rhymes is scared right now. What you call Timberland is scared right now. You know Timberland, the producer?
Mm-hmm.
He's scared right now.
So let me ask you this, Tap, and the men on the panel, Troy and Deontay. I'm saying it right. Let me ask you this. Why is it that men are more susceptible to taking steroids versus going under the knife? Why women? Why wouldn't he just rather?
Because going under the knife doesn't build the muscles like steroids.
Okay.
You
the
see
implants
how
they just do the implants, the muscle implants, the 6-pack.
No, they just do the they don't do that. What they do is they do the stomach thing where they don't eat as much. They lose the weight, and like me, for instance, I look rather good now that I lost all that weight.
You do, Tap.
But,
you do.
Yeah, but yeah, you can stop eating as much and lose weight. But if you want to look sexy and big and get the 6-pack, like you said, that takes medicine.
Oh my! Because I did look at him one time, and I was like, he looked kind of thin, kind of chubby or whatever, and then he got thin, and then all of a sudden it was like, bam! I was like, whoa!
All of a sudden, when it's something like that, you know what's up with that.
It was like bam, Shelly, just bam.
It was like bam. I thought maybe he was just spending 24 hours with his coach or his trainer. I thought he had some time with his trainer. I was just,
Busta Rhymes used to be this skinny guy that's rapping and doing his thing and was very good.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden you look at TV and this dude is big as a monster.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
All right, my comment on it is this. My comment is this. Men, I think I said this before in the last show about how it's a role reversal. Men are taking selfies now more than women, and they're getting more feminine than women are. And I'm tired of it because I'm old school. I don't take that long to get ready and go out. I get dressed in 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. After the shower, 5 minutes, I'm in and out. Niggas nowadays, they straight up
it's cracking me up.
They're getting their eyebrows done. They're getting their pedicures and manicures and all kinds of stuff.
What's wrong with a mani-pedi?
No, all right, go ahead. It's okay. You can do that.
If you want the nails done,
hold on. Let me finish, Tap.
Okay.
If you could do that, I could stand the manicure and pedicure, but just certain men that are going way too far, getting the eyebrows done, and they're trying to look better than the woman, and I can't stand them. The woman should look better. It's okay for the woman. You shouldn't outshine your woman when you going out. It's okay to match her, but there's men that are trying to look better than the woman.
You're not going to make me feel subconscious about taking myself.
But Troy, I have to say,
but Tapper knows who I am. I'm a type of dude.
Troy, I have to say that I agree with you, Troy. And what that term is called metrosexual. And I get it. I totally agree.
Okay.
I don't like the whole metrosexual thing. So I get what you're saying. But that too much time. And if I'm ready before you, that's a problem.
And the selfies. I'm tired of putting selfies on Facebook. Every time I see a male with a selfie, I feel like smacking him. And I don't give him a like either. Papa, I'll give him Papa a like because he's my brother.
I mean, it's better than us showing, a certain types of pics.
I put an angry icon. I'm like, yo, man up. Stop trying to look better than me.
Hold up. I'm going to tell
if
you the reason.
If you have a child with you, I'll like it. If you belong with me, I'm like, yo, beat it, nigga.
Hold on.
Unless you change your profile, I don't want to see no selfie. I don't want to see it. Stop taking selfies. That's
First
the rule.
of all, I'm in the house with COVID-19. I used to be out every day, chilling in everybody's face. Now I'm in nobody's face but my damn kids. So Facebook is the only
you
face
trying to advertise? That's what you're trying to say? You trying to advertise?
You know what? I'm saying hello.
They got special sites for that.
Hello to everybody on Facebook. And guess what? They're saying hello back. And they're telling me how handsome.
I'll have one. Do you do your eyebrows, Gerald?
I'll have one. My eyebrows. I can do my eyebrows today and they be woolly tomorrow. So listen. So
Troy said, I don't
when Facebook tells me that I'm a handsome dude. The only one that tell me, you know, and he means this because Troy will tell me every day, you're an idiot. What are you doing taking self? You know, he's the only one that'll give me a negative comment. The only one.
But everybody needs a friend like Troy. Everybody needs a friend like Troy. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I'll tell you the truth.
To tell you the truth.
Deontay, what do you feel about the selfie?
About, selfies?
Well, just to talk over everything, first, to go back to Dr. Dre or whatever, with him paying this woman, like I said, the last episode, my uncles and my mom and them would always tell me, how you start with a woman is how you gonna finish. So if he started making sure she had that lifestyle, taking care of her mama and everything like that, you shouldn't expect less than that when y'all separate until she gets back on her feet or whatever the case may be. 9 out of 10 times, most of us men, especially at a certain age, when we get with a woman, we either know what she there for, we either know that she loyal, whatever the case may be. You know you got to take care of her. And the fact that you got kids with her, it shouldn't even be a question. Just do what you got to do.
Exactly.
You got them kids is
100.
Them kids is watching. Them kids is watching.
Bam.
Especially if he got daughters. Them daughters is watching how you treat their mother, and how you treat their mother in separation will like kind of mold the mind of how his sons may treat their women further down the line. So you just gotta just play fair, man. You married the woman with no prenups and all that, man. Stay fair, bro. Just stay fair.
Speak.
The second half.
You know what? You know what?
He ain't finished. He got finished. He got to finish the selfie thing.
The second half on why men, I guess, get surgeries. That ain't all brothers. The only brothers that will do steroids and do all of that. And this ain't. I'm not saying this is Dr. Dre at all. But 9 out of 10 times, them was the brothers that wasn't even getting looked at anyways. So they felt like they gotta do the extra stuff to stay relevant or to be looked at. One thing, as far as me, I don't think I'm the finest man in the world, but I just know I'm far from the ugliest. Yeah. My mama, my aunties, everybody, they call me handsome and cute so much.
You adorable.
Whether I wasn't or not, I believed it. So it didn't matter.
You love the kid show?
I'm telling you, you're adorable.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And to go back on something that Mr. Troy said, because I took a mental note, you right on one thing. Like I said before, when you look at the generation before us, like the Jim Browns, the Richard Roundtrees, and the Ron O'Neills, right?
How old is he? How old are you?
30 years old.
See what I'm saying?
30 years old.
30.
Yo, whoever your parents are, whoever raised you, they are the most amazing people in the world, because the names you coming out with, there's no way you should be coming out with these names. But
women.
Yeah, I know. I don't think I hate women. I love women.
No, I'm saying that's who raised him. No, I'm letting you know. No, I'm letting you know.
You must have saw my last episode. You holding that against me. But I love women to death. I still think the man is the leader, but I still love women to death.
I do too, but I'm telling you who raised him.
Yeah, women. I can see they did a great job. It's amazing
but
what
them brothers that I named or whatever, right? Them is like the last generation of Black men that walked with confidence. Their intelligence and how they would take care of their family, validated what kind of men they were, how they took care of themselves. And like you said, this generation ain't like that, not at all. It's a lot more sensitive. They're a lot more, I don't know, man. They're a lot more impressionable to what people say about them.
I think that's the fact that they took the man out of the household, and they're becoming more. They look up to the woman, which is nothing wrong with that. But sometimes you pick up a little bad habits of being more feminine and cared about how you look in the mirror. You're looking at the mirror too long. Man should look in the mirror just to make sure he ain't got no boogers in his nose. And that's it. No crust in his eyes.
Well, one thing I will say on that though, Mr. Troy.
Right now.
One thing I will say about that though, Mr. Troy, I don't feel like looking in the mirror necessarily. If you getting yourself together, make sure you getting yourself together right. One thing I will say with the women that raised me, they would have me when I go outside. I'm representation of who raised me and who's around me and who brought me up. So if I do walk out and I do look my best, it's only because I was taught to look that way, and that comes with confidence too. Now you do whatever you got to do to feel good about yourself. If it take you an hour, hey, that's on you then. So you
out,
understand what I'm saying? Some people may need a little bit more than that to look presentable when they walk outside, whatever you got to do. But I do feel like this generation is a little bit more sensitive, though.
Yeah, straight up sensitive. And they take
yes,
Hold up, Troy.
Ahead.
You've been talking too much, big guy.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
Deontay.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. You sound great, and most of the stuff you're saying, I believe you 100%. I know you a good brother at heart, but man, I think you enjoy is kissing up to these women. You know, I love
it all, man.
Hold up.
Not at all.
Hold the phone.
Go ahead, OG. Go ahead.
Did he say that
I
out
think
loud?
y'all kissing
He
up.
did not say that out loud.
And I love, you know, listen, all of these women on here know that, you know, my true colors, you know what I mean? But, yeah, you know what? Y'all ain't nothing, you know what I mean? Not nothing like.
Speaking of manicure, stop showing your fingernails, please.
I love y'all, but you know, it's like right now, I'm just, because y'all had messed my head up so much, I'm loving myself more. Before, I loved y'all more than anything in the world. And I got beautiful sisters, ugly friends, everybody. I love all my friends, but I ain't giving y'all really no attention. I'm giving myself all the attention. I love me. I ain't kissing up to y'all no more. I did everything. You know what? Do you like? It seemed like to me y'all want to do y'all anyway. Well, do you? You know what I mean?
Mr. Gerald.
What are you talking
Mr.
about?
Gerald.
Mr.
Gerald, what's happening? What's the trajectory?
Mr. Gerald.
What's happening?
Mr. Gerald, one thing I will say is this, though.
I wish I can explain this.
I know.
I wish I can explain this.
Rashid,
Mr. Gerald.
Queen
what I will say is this, though. When it comes to me, I promise you, on my dead brother's grave, it ain't about trying to impress nobody. And that's what I'm saying about the differences with some men. You understand what I'm saying? How you step out is who you represent. Right. Now, unfortunately, for some brothers, and I'm not saying it's Dr. Dre or any of us men that's on this phone, but some brothers, they got to do extra to impress, or they got to do extra to get attention. Fortunately enough for me, I ain't one of them brothers. I ain't got to do all that. I just got to be myself, and I got to know my own. I got to know my own worth. So the only, the only things I ever have
Shelly,
to
why you shooting your shot right now?
You ain't got to do all that.
No, hold on, but
Shelly out here shooting shots.
Hold on. Mr. Gerald, what I'm saying is that with some people, right, the only thing I got to go on is the tools that's been given to me.
That's
so
right.
when I big up the women or the men that raised me, it's not me trying to impress nobody. That's all I got. That's all I got in my toolbox. So I gotta let you know where I got it from. You know what I'm saying? So when I say the Ron O'Neills and the Richard Roundtrees, you gotta listen to that too. I ain't just get this swag or personality.
That's right. Big baby.
It's something that I've learned over time. So once again, I don't try to impress. That happens naturally. You know what I mean? That's something that comes with my family. You gotta get mad at my grandfathers and all that. They gave me the game a long time ago.
They said, don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't hate the player.
Not even the game. Not even the game, man. That's in the bloodline, man.
That's the bloodline. You already know.
It's already there. You ain't
Pippin'
even
sister.
It's already there.
It's
already there.
Troy knows me.
All right.
All my life, I've been trying to impress.
Already there, baby. It's already there.
All my life, dog.
I just say Rashid.
I'm done. You know what I mean? I'm done.
I haven't said a word yet.
It's like, and now that I'm not trying to impress, I'm not getting nowhere. You know what I mean? It's, wow, nobody sees me for me. But when
they do, Mr. Gerald. You said earlier when I was taking them selfies, they was telling you was handsome, man. Come on now. Hold on to that. They love you out here, man. They love you, dog.
You was handsome, boy. Had a big smile on.
Look,
he get a nice fresh cut. Anytime Papa get a nice fresh cut, brother, you know he taking a selfie.
When you get in your late 50s, when you get in your late 50s, you won't be taking selfies too, my brother, my dude.
Oh yeah, nah. Hey, I'm gonna take them pictures now. Like you said, if I'm get your flowers while you can. That's why I said for some for yourself, right? And Mr. Gerald, this is you as an OG teaching me something, right? Even in your old age, you can post one picture and it get a whole bunch of comments. And you ain't talking, you ain't showing what's in your bank account, you ain't doing none of that. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying about some men. Be glad that you ain't gotta take no steroids. You ain't gotta do all that extra. You ain't got the billions of dollars that Dr. Dre got. Understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying about me, you, and Mr. Troy. I'm not part of that class where I feel like I gotta get ready longer than my woman, or I gotta look better than my woman. Nah, because I was raised by the old
I'll be back, guys. I gotta go answer the door. I'll be right back.
But one thing that I will appreciate is that the fact that whatever tools that was given to me, I don't got to do all of that. Or I'm not looking for that. You understand what I'm saying? And to go to the last point, I guess you guys were saying about the steroids and everything like that. That's all for the brothers that feel that they need that. I think when you get to a certain point in your life, it don't matter what size you are. It's about what you bring to the table. So if Gerald Levert never had to lose weight, or have a six-pack, if Barry White never had to have a six-pack, Marvin Gaye and some of these other guys, like the other guys I named, Ron O'Neal, Richard Roundtrees, you know what I mean? Willie Dynamites, all these guys, right? They didn't need no six-pack. They didn't need none of that. If you are somebody that's used to the attention, or you used to talking to women, or you're comfortable with talking to women, you know, none of that matters. A lot of these rappers or actors or entertainers, they wasn't used to that before they had the money. So they still don't know what to do even after they have the money.
Right. There's two words I want to just end it with. I don't want to, so you could go on. Pride and ego. That's two words that men have. They have too much pride and their ego is too high. That's why they kill each other on the street. And that's why they got to look better than their woman nowadays. And it's corrupting it's just making men look bad. So anytime I see something that makes a man look bad, I have to attack it and call it like it is. Stop trying to be better than your woman. Let the woman shine. That's their thing, to look beautiful. You just make sure you don't mess up the night by wearing sneakers with your suit. That's all you got to do. Don't wear the sneakers with your shoes. Leave the Jordans at home, my nigga, and just go put some shoes on and look proper for the woman so you won't embarrass her. That's her time to shine. That's all I'm saying.
Wait a minute, hold up. I wasn't here. Did he just say don't wear sneakers with a suit?
Yes, he did.
Do not wear
sneakers.
Yes,
I did.
Man, I'm wearing sneakers with a suit. Come on.
Oh
Some
my
of
God.
us did.
He's wearing sneakers with a suit, Rashid.
That's not really proper dress attire at all. But okay.
And then they got their cap on too. They got their baseball cap on top of that with a suit on at the wedding. Who that?
Oh, well, I just think it just depends on the swag. But
Shelly, what you say, Shell? Well,
it depends on the swag. It depends on the swag.
That's Brother Yakubu. That's the Reverend.
What about you, Queen Sia? Where you at on this?
Well, you know, if you have great self-esteem, it'll show through your outside, you know. I mean, it's all about having confidence in yourself, whether it's you're a male or a female, you know. It is a turnoff if a man is in the mirror longer than me. That's true. Because we can't be fighting for the mirror. That's insane. However, you know, if you have great confidence in yourself and you want to make yourself feel good and look good, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. So that's my take on it.
Up a little bit.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lori G. What you thinking?
You know, I agree. I think it shouldn't be a competition, right? It should be about what makes you feel good yourself, right? So it shouldn't be like my woman is in the mirror 15 minutes, so I got to be in the mirror 30 minutes because I got to make sure I look better than her. And you're a couple, you're together. You know, you have a oneness that you should have about each other. And relationships shouldn't be about competition, right? It should be about looking at myself and having the confidence of what I am, right? Or who I've decided to be. I mean, always being a heavy set woman, I'm really sensitive to that. You know, it took me such a long time to live within my body and to feel beautiful within who I am, because I'm not a size 4, right? Or I'm not a size, 6. So who said a size 14 isn't lovely, right? But if I accept that it's not, then I will always be ashamed when I'm out in the world, right? So I have to believe that I am beautiful when I look in that mirror. And if I look in that mirror and I have on tennis shoes with a tuxedo, if I feel confident about that, rock that. You go with that. You know what I'm saying?
Lord.
Because you're doing it for you, for your beauty within you. There's no rubric or guideline that says what things should or shouldn't be, or how things should or they shouldn't look. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That just
Yes,
that
I
burns the
do.
hell out of me.
You had to bring up the tennis shoes and the suit, right? All right, so I'm gonna have to see you on that. I'll have to get you on that. First of all, we got to stop this nonsense that this is our thing. Hip hop is about wearing sneakers and a cap. That's not hip hop. I mean, that's not who we are. We kings and queens. When we were kings back in the days, we wouldn't be rocking no tennis shoes with no suit on. We would be wearing something that looks proper. Uh, Back in Africa, we
But
were
who
wearing
are
something
you to
proper.
say that
And
tennis
whether we
shoes
say,
aren't
Who are you to
proper,
say
Troy?
proper?
I'm
Who are
just
you to
saying, we
say
gotta
that?
stop. We gotta stop this.
Maybe I
This
have
hip hop.
bad feet. Maybe I have
Yeah, you don't
corns,
know, man. Go
busted.
ahead.
I
Hey,
ain't saying
Troy.
you can wear some nice shoes. You don't have to wear,
Troy,
but the
Troy,
sneakers with the
dead
That's
suit,
that.
great.
man. Come on, son. You just killing it. I like hip hop too, but the sneakers with the suit, leave that alone. The cap.
But are
Every
they
time
clean
we
Troy, you
sneakers?
going too
Well,
far.
yeah. What are
trying
the
to say
sneakers
wear them
like?
good.
Troy,
And I don't think
earlier,
that's just hip hop. I know the kids out here, I live in the desert in California, in the suburbs, and all the little white kids out here, when they go to prom, they have on their tuxedos and tennis shoes. You
I
probably
love
see
it.
it too, right?
Everything they
Troy,
do, they stole
It
it
ain't
from
got
who?
nothing to do with hip hop.
Everything a white man did, they stole it from a black man.
Troy,
Every fashion style,
Troy,
we did it.
Troy,
We just
you
take
are
it. We take it. We do
Troy, you
something. They're
take
gonna
it.
do it
Can
too.
I say
So you
something?
can't go by that.
All
But
I can say
hold on.
is everybody has their individual style.
right.
Everybody can rock whatever they want to rock.
Whatever
If
they
I
want.
want to wear a pair of tennis shoes with a long sleeve evening gown, if that's what
There
I
you
want to
go.
rock and I feel good in it, I'm gonna do it.
Troy.
I'm not gonna not wear it because you think old school, I'm supposed to be in high heels with a long gown.
you don't have to wear high heels. Just don't.
Or
I'm just saying
whatever the case
sneakers.
may be. I want my children and I want the people that are around me to be confident in what their style is, not what I think they should wear.
Okay, so
And Troy, hold on.
hold on.
Troy.
I want to hear what he got to say first.
Well, I know.
Let the engineer talk.
on you, Rashid.
What I want to tell you, Troy, is look, I sometimes when I speak, right, like here on the show, sometimes I'll say things out of the ordinary to get you guys aroused. Like I don't mean
he does that to me all the time, so he ain't lying.
I don't mean some of the things I say about women, but I know it's going to get you and the crowd and our fans aroused. In the end, I'll call Lori.
You like that word aroused?
Wait.
And
Aroused?
You like that word aroused?
Wait a
I'm
minute.
sorry, to get you going.
So basically, you are now Viagra. Okay.
To get a rise out of you.
That scene is funny.
You know what I mean? Hey, Troy, you don't have to be so, you know what I mean?
What?
You don't have to be so technical, man. You can do whatever you want. I mean, just because who are you to say that sneakers is not good with a suit? Come on, you can't do that,
Whatever
man.
it is.
My
Your
man,
style, that's where style comes from.
we got a coworker.
The grain.
We got a coworker that went to a wedding with some Jordans on with his suit, and his mother his mother-in-law was like, "What the hell is going on?"
Because she from 1950. Like
it don't matter. Come on, something you take it too.
Okay.
Because he wore Jordans.
Rashid need to speak. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna shut up right now.
Okay, so we have to look at different eras and look at how times have changed. Look at what women have had to deal with back in like the 1920s or even earlier than that. Look what all the crap that they had to put up with. Now, compare that to now, where we are in a women empowerment movement, to where literally they have been empowered to say that they are INDEPENDENT, if you know what that means. So when it comes down to it, we're in different eras and different raisings and upbringings. I myself am only 28 years old. Now, when we come to the talk of steroids, it depends on the type of steroids that you're talking about. Because if we're talking about an anabolic steroid, those are the ones that, after long-term use, can actually have adverse effects on your brain. So, so until we get an actual blood test on what was in Dr. Dre's system during that time, I would like to not comment about that. About possibilities and what ifs and what nots. Now, when it comes to the $2 million, he's already paying for everything else except for the attorneys. Like when he's still going to be covering the mother, and he's still going to be covering basically a lot of other things. So for her to still be trying to get the $2 million a month, to me that seems a bit much.
Excessive.
Because to me, like I'm a 2 million, and then she's trying to ask for 5 million to pay attorneys.
So it's a rough game, Rashid.
Right, and in fact, she's just trying to literally play the system and play the game, because in these type of systems, it's usually, sorry to say, in the judicial system, it's usually the woman that actually wins in these bouts. It's
a but Shelly,
I say it's cheaper to keep her. You should just stay home.
Shelly and Troy.
What the Bible says, no, it's not permitted. So don't do it.
You can't
so
do it.
He better off. He'll save him money, and he'll probably there ain't nothing better out there. He gonna just find another person to sue him and take all his money again anyway. So he might as well stay with that woman that's taking care of all his kids.
I'm gonna keep himself wrapped up.
But all his kids, he needs to stay with that woman. If
it's not working out on both ends, you cannot force somebody to work because we are not back in those 1920s. We are not back in those times where you had to actually put up with all the bull crap.
Right.
We're not back in those times.
Okay. We're not in BC.
Do you remember the time?
Hey, Shelly.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you believe it? We only have 3 minutes left.
Oh my gosh.
Time flew.
Can you believe it? I can't believe it. Go ahead, Gerald. I just want to give you a timeline.
Okay, baby. Shelly, you made me change my mind on some things as far with the wife and like how I think on money situations. You and Deontay did because, it made sense. I thought about it, and when you're by yourself thinking, and you go through separation, you be like, I ain't giving shit. But after you hear people who make sense and people who care and people, when you don't have your own mind and you're not mad at and you've had time to think about it. Maybe, I was wrong. You know what I mean? Maybe I would, do some things that you guys had brought up. You know what I mean? But I do believe that a lot of times women are, they're asking for a lot more than they, should be getting. But they should get a lot, but not the astronomical stuff they be asking for.
Well, Tap, I think, you know what? I have to congratulate you for saying that. And I want to say thank you. But I also have to say that I have to agree with you too. Sometimes there are people that are greedy. But however, there are, when you go through a divorce, there are different totals that you're given. There's different things that both of you are given to survive. And depending on that lifestyle, that's why I'm saying, I just feel it's unfair for people on the outside to judge when you're not on the inside. We don't know how much her house note is. We don't know how much her car is. We don't know how much it is for her mother to live.
But he's paying all that though.
Not to say that he has to. I'm just saying we don't know. And a lot of times I think it's unfair to say what a person deserves when we're on the outside looking in. That was my only point. So I think I want to congratulate you, Tap, for saying that. My point was exactly that. Because when somebody hears 2 million, they astronomically think, oh my God, that's too much. But you don't know what that person's lifestyle was like. For example, $1,000 to someone else could be too much. $2,000 could be too much. $2,000 a month could be too much to some people. So depending on the lifestyle that people have, and during that 25 years, who are we on the outside to say what is too much? That's all I was saying. I'm not saying she deserves it. I'm not saying that she don't. I'm just saying we have to think about that. How was this woman living for 25 years? And like Mr. Troy said, how do we know if that might just be the chip? I mean, he wrote that check so quick out of the hospital bed. He might have just said, "Here, give her this to shut her up and leave me alone for until April, because I'm trying to heal." And that's just
because he's trying to get better.
Right. She might get more, she might get less, but just give it to her to shut her up so I can get well. And this ain't hurting me. That's all I'm saying.
Not a month.
You're only gonna get that.
But he's also covering everything else. This is for her personally. This is 2 million. Personally.
But she maybe used to live off 5 million personal.
Right.
But she's trying to get for 5 million to pay for attorney.
So guys, we've got a lot more to talk about here on the Poetry of Justice show. We have gone into the after hours and we've had a great time tonight. I know I have Lori G and Miss Chris Fisher, Shelly C, Big Tap, all the way down in Oklahoma. You know I love it down there. Deontay, the lovely Miss Queen C. Thank you so much, Queen. And Troy. You must come back. We're gonna get a whole new program lined up with you and Shelly. I gotta talk to you guys in the after hours room, guys. We gotta get in the green room talk. I see another thread. What you see, Queen Shield? We see a new thread developing here, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna have some fun. Yeah, we are. But I just want to say that I love each and every one of you, and I God bless you, and thank you for spending your time with the Poetry of Justice show. This was our grand opening for 2021, and I'm just going to hail it as a success. I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to say it's a success. What about you, Sia? Yeah, it's a success. We're going to say, yeah. Lori G, did you want to have any parting words? What we got coming up next week, Queen?
Next week, we have the ladies of the chat. So it'll be their first show. And Queen Sia, we would like to invite you to join us. So think about that. Chris, you are a permanent part of the crew. We will have the ladies of the chat there. I don't know what they're
already.
I know, right?
We got to get the topic because we're going to need some men. So Deontay, be on the lookout. Of course, Brother Troy, and that's Big Tap Promotions Department. You coming, Shelly? Deontay coming, Shelly?
Oh yes, he's coming. We need that wisdom.
Okay. I just wanted to say, there's a little rumor out there for a tidbit. A topic could be when the side piece becomes the main
dish.
So think about that.
When the Sancho becomes the desired. Oh God.
Only on yikesradio.com, ladies and gentlemen. The Poetry of Justice. It's going to be right here going down. It's the going down episode, everybody. We're going to do it. I see you guys in 7 days. Queen Sia, we're going to be touching base offline. So y'all be ready. Troy, you going to come back?
Oh, no doubt. As long as you're here. I love Lori Fisher. I love all the people that you think I hate. I love them all.
Troy, I'm going to pray for you, Troy. I'm going to pray for you.
In closing, I will say, when it comes to fashion, it's all about comfortability.
Oh, Lord.
Because ain't no one trying to walk in high heels in 90-degree weather.
You can wear dashiki, you can go African on me, but please stop with the sneakers, my nigga, my God. You can't wear sneakers all the time.
I'm currently wearing flip-flops. I'm wearing flip-flops right now. I am comfortable.
That's good.
It's been a blast. I love you guys. I'm gonna get ready to head back. We out. POJ show, Jackie Ray. Let's do it.
All right, love y'all.
Good night. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Love you too.
How you leave this thing?
Listen.